No, have you spilt it?
No, I didn't spill it. It got stuck to the table.
Yeah, these are old tables. These tables are older than time. Rumour has it, these are the prototype type of tables.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard Jesus was going to use these for his last meal.
Anyway.
Let the team know.
Welcome to the Sunday League Effect. Welcome back to the Sunday League Effect.
Yeah.
The podcast where we, the ever professionals, never forget to turn the mics on.
Never forget.
Never forget to swap out the lighting.
Never.
And always are on time.
Absolutely.
And today we're going to be dissecting the chaos of the weekend.
Yep.
We're going to delve in to the storm.
Okay.
Around VAR this weekend.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring you along with us. So if that sounds like something you might like, or even if you might not, please hang around.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, tell your grands, tell your nans, and your mans.
And your mans. Yeah. You can say and your mans.
Anyway, let's go.
D seems to be your favourite letter then.
Yeah.
I'm definitely sure 90% of the words you just said began with D.
I said your nans and your grands, they don't begin with D.
Not that bit. The bit before that was all like D's.
Was it? I've got it written down, let me see. Definitely don't. There's a lot of alliteration for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, anyway.
Let's jump in.
Yeah. So this week, did you watch the weekend of football? Because
I watched as much
to talk about.
Yeah, I watched as much as I could. Obviously, I was away for the wife's birthday, so I did get to miss quite a lot.
I don't think we got a single prediction right.
That doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
Like you done really badly.
Yeah.
Like we both said, I think we might have said Bournemouth to win. Actually, no, one of us did.
You said Bournemouth to win. I said it would be a draw between Bournemouth and Newcastle.
Yeah, and it was absolutely
stonker.
But anyway, we're going to talk about Manchester United now. They somehow managed to keep an unbeaten run going.
Poor game as well.
Worst game of football I've ever seen in my life. I imagine I like it too. You know when you got painter and decorator and they give you 2 days, they give you a price for like 2 days.
Yeah.
So at some point they're literally waiting for paint to dry.
Yeah. That's what it's the equivalent of what was being watched. I watched the highlights and I thought it was like watching paint dry.
Mate, it was so bad. But fair play to them. Anyway, we won't start there. Oh no, we will start there. So, oh my God, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. Apologies, but I'll kick in now.
You'll be alright, mate. You'll be fine.
This episode's going to be a little bit shorter than what we're doing. We're trying to shorten the form to keep you guys engaged. So if that's something you definitely want to see, then leave a comment, let us know. Or if you like the long format, let us know as well.
Yeah, let us know what you guys find ideal.
Anyway, so as we just spoke about, the United game was absolutely dreadful.
Yep.
But United have a bit of an uncanny knack for late winners against Fulham.
Oh, really?
3 of the last 4 Premier League 1-0 wins have come against them, all in the dying minutes.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, because I feel like Fulham is one of those teams, they try and close the game out early. And if they don't...
Fulham have had a really good season, let's not get it twisted.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Recently at home, they've dropped points. I think, didn't we beat them at home as well? I'm pretty sure we beat them at Craven Cottage. We didn't deserve to.
No.
But it seems to be slipping away from them a little bit. And I think with the high energy that Marco Silva wants to play, maybe it's starting to wane heavy on a relatively small squad.
This is what I'm thinking, is it's very much a case of you're trying to get them to use up as much of their energy as possible, but they can't all do it for the 90 minutes. So when it does come to those final few minutes, teams like United can jump in on that.
It's individuals, so it's moments FC. That's what Man United have been for years. They wait for their best players, or their elite players, which there aren't many at United anymore, to do something. And Martinez was the one this week.
Which surprised me. Although, I mean, even that was such a fluky little goal.
Yeah.
Got a massive deflection. Even the keeper got a finger to it. Hit the crossbar and went in.
He just smashed it, didn't he?
Yeah.
But he has now scored 3 goals this season, all away. Arsenal, Liverpool, now Fulham.
Oh, really? Only scores against big clubs?
Away as well.
Away.
Because obviously he got the goal in the FA Cup against Arsenal?
Yeah.
Or was it the league game against Liverpool? I know it was the same week. But I don't like Martinez. I think he's a horrible player. And did you see him? So someone went down injured for United, and Fulham carried on playing, and Adama Traore got the ball in the end and took the shot and went over, and Martinez went up to him and pushed him.
Yeah.
as to say, like, what are you doing? And
I feel like
Traore just pushed him and kept his hands out like this, and he went like flying like 2 meters back, and it was funny. Should have seen it. It was one of those you should have been there moments.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't.
Well tired. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, sorry. I thought you fallen asleep on me.
That's nice. There's not really much you can say there because just before his goal, they had a player down injured.
Did they?
United had a player down injured.
Well, United or Fulham?
United had a player down
injured.
On? And they played on.
Oh, okay.
And then scored the goal.
I'm not going to lie, I fell asleep during the United game. What a stupid time. 7 o'clock on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, for fans at home, actually, it's not too bad. But for travelling supporters, that's awful.
Yeah, because
you're going from Manchester on a Sunday night.
To go to Fulham in London.
Yeah. At least they got the win, which, let's be honest, I don't think many people expected.
I wonder how many of them had left before that point, though. You've got to think like last train home and stuff.
Diabolical. And that, I think it's epitomised by how bad Bruno Fernandes was. The only reason he stayed on is because Ugarte, whatever his name is, got injured. Because Bruno was dreadful. The problem with United, and a massive problem for United in that midfield position, especially Bruno's position, is that they're so much better without him that even when he has a piss poor game like he did against Fulham, they can't take him off because the drop off is huge.
Yeah. And this is the thing, isn't it? It's very much they rely on him a lot, no matter whether he's in form or out of form.
Yeah,
and
he knows it as well. And when a player knows that he's basically untouchable, it's a problem. I think the way that Fernandes plays though will will keep him on. Yeah, we'll keep him on relative song. I know he had a bad game. Everyone has bad games now.
Of course, of course.
But yeah, United got a win when they're not playing well, and I wouldn't be surprised if they kick on at some point, but I've been saying that for a few weeks now.
I mean, they haven't kicked on just yet, have they?
No, it's a full start. But going back to Fulham and their drought, that's 5 winless at home now.
That's it.
Yeah, scored only once in the last 2 at Craven Cottage, and that was against us.
Wow.
Yep.
That does say a lot about... I mean, if you're having a drop of form like that at home, I mean, what's their away like? Have you got the stat for that? No. So... usually your home ground is where you're meant
Fortress,
to be.
Isn't it? If you look at teams like Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, I know Palace lost at home this weekend, but they really make their homes a fortress. Yeah. So most of their points, Brentford,
Anfield.
I was looking at smaller teams. But
sorry.
No, you're right. Like it should be, and there's I wouldn't say it's a cause for alarm because Fulham will be alright. The squad's just in to drop off between their first team and there's a couple of rotation players that come in quite often, but even a drop off. I like Adama Traore, but he's so hit and miss that if you're bringing him on for any of your 3 behind the striker, you don't know which Traore you're going to get.
No, I think this is the thing. Like he's so inconsistent, it's so hard to try and utilise him.
I think he's relatively consistent at just being poor in his decision making. Like for years, like even when he was at Barca, like his decision making was so poor. Wolves again was poor, but sometimes
he comes out with absolute blinders.
Because he's too. It's almost like he moves quicker than his brain. Similar to what Rashford does. Rashford gets the ball, just wants to run. Doesn't really have a picture in his head of what he wants to do. No. So then when he gets to the point when he has to do something, it's the wrong decision. But Rashford is a better footballer than Traore, which is why he's had a better career.
Yeah.
But it's. Well, like I said, I like Traore, and I take him at West Ham mainly because we've got the slowest team in the world.
I mean, yeah, he's a big guy. He's fast.
I think they should stick him up front. They should turn him into a forward like we did for Antonio.
I'd say that's probably a perfect position because I think he'd be quite like an Antonio.
Yeah, so do I. But no one's seen that yet. Give him to Everton. Get David Moyes on him.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Everton. Fans something to look forward to.
That's when he goes into the back.
Oh, dropped your gay card.
I didn't drop my gay card. It was my phone.
It's still in your pocket. Just for those that didn't watch the game, this just shows how poor it was. United's first shot on target came almost at half time. I felt like this was more of a test of patience than football. I used to fish a lot when I was a kid, and I was shit at it.
Yeah. Can you be shit at fishing?
Yeah.
Can you?
Well, you can if you don't put the hook on properly.
Well, yeah, I suppose. All the gear, but no idea.
But yeah, I liked it today. It was just it was so bad.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is like because I sort of said that it was a 7 o'clock game on a Sunday, and I was a bit like, that's good timing for like us at home.
Sleeping.
But just an evening game, and I was like, it's United Fulham, that should be all right. Fulham are quite attack-minded.
Yeah.
United are pretty shit.
Yeah. So it could have been open for goals,
and it just wasn't.
And yeah,
damp squid. Another late goal for United. I don't know how many they've got this season, but it seems to be a bit of a
leave it to the last minute.
A bit of a nap for him. It's actually been for a few years. It's like
well, if you think about it all the way back to Fergie time.
Yeah, but at least they were good then. They're not good now. So now it's like the best comparison I've got is like, you know, like when you're waiting for a delayed train.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck's sake, this is so long.
Yeah.
Why is it delayed? And then it comes, and the jubilation and the satisfaction.
You're so happy about it
when it comes. It's like that.
So very much like when we went out.
I can't remember that, mate.
Oh, right. Well, it was like that because we were waiting hours, and then eventually it turned up when all hope was lost.
Yep.
And I've never been so happy about a train being so late.
I can't remember it, mate. Leicester's historic win against Spurs at White Hart Lane or Tottenham Hotspur, whatever it's called now.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
It's mental. Who had that? Like, Leicester are so bad.
Yeah.
And they scored 2 goals in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
Yeah. And Jamie Vardy scored.
Jamie Vardy, nearly 40.
Yeah.
He's 38 years old, still banging in goals. He's like the Premier League's version of Benjamin Button.
He is. He very much is, but he doesn't look like he's getting any younger.
No, he definitely doesn't. That Red Bull's really started to take a kick on his face. He looks like a drug addict. Like, he looks gaunt. His eyes are getting more and more shallow and sunken.
It's all that hard work he's been putting in.
Yep.
To be able to get out of bed.
Right, so I've got to stay. I need to read out because it doesn't make sense off skim reading. So that's Leicester's first win in London in 8 attempts, and Tottenham's first home loss to a team with 7 consecutive defeats since 1912, which was the year the Titanic sunk.
Was it?
1912?
Was that 1912?
We're going to go with, it's 1912. There was.
I'm going to stat check this because we want to be correct and factual.
So that's Vardy's 10th career goal against Spurs, and he did his lovely point to the Premier League badge.
Yeah.
1, 0.
He loves it.
I'm sure the Spurs fans up there. Was it the Titanic?
It was the Titanic.
Look at that. Don't fact check me again. He did it before, and it was all authentic, looked wicked. Like when he done his Eagle celebration against Palace, that was wicked as well. But he stopped after he scored against Spurs and looked like he thought for a second, like, how do I celebrate? And then he did it. I mean, he has a Premier League title, so I do it more often than just...
Yeah, I'd do it every time I scored.
Every goal I scored.
I'd probably do it if I did a good slide tackle. I'd probably get up just like...
So, Spurs' collapse again. Conceding twice again in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And I might be wrong, but I don't think it's the first time they've come out slow in the second half and conceded or gave away leads. What's going wrong? Like, what is it? Because
Ange isn't changing anything. I think that's what's going wrong.
Yeah, but they're not even scoring that many goals anymore. They don't look like that much of a threat as what they did like before Christmas. That's why they've slid down the table. I know they've got a lot of injuries. We can't overlook the fact they've got no centre-backs. But it's the middle of January now. Why have you not gone and got one?
No.
Why is there no... We spoke about it last week. Why in the youth system is there no capable centre-backs that can just be a filler? Because at the minute you're playing a centre-mid and Dragusin centre-back, or you've got Ben Davis and a centre-mid who's a young centre-mid. Neither of them are centre-backs, and Dragusin isn't good enough.
And this is the thing, like, you've got... The January window is perfect for this.
Yeah,
like, if you
exactly
need...
what it's for,
even if you're going for a loan.
Yeah.
Like, get a loan for someone. Like, a short-term loan.
An old player.
Yeah.
There's loads of old players that you could just chuck a couple. Chuck a couple mil at someone and be like, yeah, come down into the end of the season. Come and play for us. You'll get games now, and then we'll see how it goes. But
do what United did with Evans. Is it Evans? Johnny Evans?
Yeah, but that was a free transfer, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, but I mean, he was just training with him. He's an old bloke, and he's just playing centre-back.
Basically, Spurs, get down a local park on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Find some meathead. Like, that's what they did with Harry Maguire at Hull or wherever he started at.
Mate, that is exactly what they need.
But
they
are 100% in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
Like, there's no two ways about it. Their form is absolutely abysmal.
Yep.
That's now 1 win in 11. I can't remember the actual. I think it was 1 win in 10 last week, so they lost again against bottom of the league. Southampton, the bottom of the league, but let's not get
in the relegation.
Leicester have been dreadful since Ruben Van Nistelrooy took over.
Also, that's a 6-pointer for them. Like, because they're in the relegation battle now.
Yeah.
So there is no reason why.
And not only like just talking about Spurs, but that's going to give Leicester a platform now to push on.
Yeah.
Which again is part of the chasing pack of Spurs. So with Everton winning at the weekend, West Ham picking up points, United winning, they're all around Spurs.
Yeah.
So there's trouble afoot
There is trouble
for Spurs, and Ange is just still there. But again, it's a difficult one because you probably should get rid of him. Like I like Ange. Ange is a good manager. I think that's what. How long do we say that for? Good manager in a relegation battle with Spurs.
Yeah,
can't be that good a manager.
It's like saying Ruud van Nistelrooy is a good manager.
Yeah, true. Well, no, because he's got no basis to say that of.
I mean, neither does really Ange.
Yeah, he does. He's won titles, and
no.
Stylistically,
he won the Japanese title, didn't he?
Yeah. Which you still, I don't know how like one-sided the Japanese league is. He still needs to be a decent manager to win it though.
Oh, well, potentially, unless it's like the Scottish League,
which I don't think it is. I don't think there's any league like the Scottish League.
No,
like it's got massive the amount. Actually, the J League does have a lot of fans. That's why you see big clubs go for Japanese talent because it gets a whole continent of whole part of Southeast Asia to.
It's like
follow their club, which ups
Sun.
their numbers and ups their revenue.
Like Sun.
Yeah, Sun. Well, he's South Korean.
Yeah, but what I mean is
Park Ji-sung as well.
Yeah.
He was South Korean as well, wasn't
he? Yeah.
Shinji Kagawa. He was Japanese.
He sounds Japanese.
Shinji Nakamura.
Is he also Japanese?
Yeah, he played Celtic. Best free kick taker ever. Bar none. That's bar none, by the way. I had to argue with anyone. Anyway. Spurs are going down, Leicester are staying up, and Richarlison has more goals against Leicester than any other side.
No, sorry, you can't just say that and carry on.
Why not?
You think it's going to swap places?
Yeah.
Leicester are going to relegate Tottenham. I look forward to that. I can't wait to play at Tottenham Stadium next season.
Wait, have you got to play Leicester again? We have to play Spurs again. This is what's going to happen, right? I'm obviously a West Ham fan. For anyone new here, I'm a West Ham fan. I'll try not to talk about it too much, mainly because we're bad. If we were ever good, I'll talk about it a lot more.
Yeah. Never stop hearing about it.
But this is what's going to happen. We have to play Spurs again. I know we do. Our form's going to take an upturn. They're going to stay pretty shit, but they'll batter us, and that'll be the turn to play, and they'll still finish above us.
And they'll somehow just save themselves by beating you guys.
But at the minute, technically, we're better than Spurs, and we're dreadful. And I'll take that. That is a victory for me. Yes, that is like winning the title. Yeah. That is like winning something.
Fair.
Yeah. Fair. All right. And got a nice little. I've got a promotion for Jamie Vardy. So Jamie, if you're watching this, mate, or anyone of Leicester, if Jamie makes it in playing football at Leicester to 40, he's got to retire with like some kind of beer or energy drink named after him.
Okay.
Like Vardy Ball or Leicester Lager.
That's Leicester Lager is quite a good name.
Yeah, it's got his face on it.
Just Jamie Vardy doing the Eagle celebration.
Pointing to the Premier League flag. Yeah. So I've got to reach under my arm, just point to his badge on the front of it. Yeah, and on the back he could just have you. Well, you can't have both. You can have it like
you can have whatever he wants.
What's it called around
the label?
No, yeah, around the label you could have like a static picture, but if you move into it, if you twist it round, it has the whole thing.
Oh, so like yeah. So like
someone's got to take that. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Anyway,
we also patented that, so you have to pay us.
I don't think they will, mate.
They fucking better.
We should just open up a factory and just make beers.
That would not be safe.
Players.
That would not be safe.
No, I wouldn't. Like I always say, I want to run a pub, but I'd run into the ground, drink it dry.
I'd run me into the ground.
On to the next one, which a lot of people might have had Bournemouth down to beat Forest, but nowhere near what they did. It was 5-0. What are you looking at?
Did they not play Newcastle?
No, it was last week. They beat Newcastle last week 4-1. And they beat Forest this week. You're right.
Jesus, I think I'm a week behind.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So it's the Cherries' biggest Premier League win in 6 years, which it doesn't surprise me. But
they've been on an upturn for ages.
Two things need to happen. So before anyone, if there's any Bournemouth fans that might get upset about what I say coming on, there's two things you need to happen for a scoreline like that, especially if you're both in the top 10.
Yep.
The losing team needs to have a bad day, and the winning team needs to have a phenomenal day.
Yep.
So that's what happened. And I don't think there's a massive scope in class between the two clubs, which is why
not at all.
Forest is still third. I think Bournemouth done exactly what we spoke about when we did our preview or review of 2024, which they've done the last 3 games, so they definitely watch it. Their analysis is... They're
using our analysis.
Their analysers have watched us and they're stealing our stat packs.
Can't believe
and they're bringing it to their wingers because... some fun facts for you.
Cool.
Dango Utara.
Yep.
It's a historic hat trick that you got another hat trick, so that's now 10 for the season across the Premier League.
Nice.
Is the first Burkina Bay. It's a Burkina Faso player. Burkina Bay.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it properly, but I think it's Burkina Bay player.
Yeah.
To achieve defeat in the Premier League.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Can you name any other Burkina Faso players?
No.
Can you? Because I can't.
I couldn't even point to that on a map.
It's Africa.
Africa's a big place.
Yeah, it is. I don't know where it is, but I know it's in Africa.
But fair play to him.
First player to bag a hat trick, and he had one disallowed as well. I think Clive had one disallowed. Who, by the way, is still on my FPL bench, and he scored again and got an assist.
I thought you'd have learnt from last week.
I put him in my team now, but he doesn't score.
I bet you've killed off his form now.
But how many people would have left him in? Because look, he's not a prolific goal scorer. He's on a streak. It does stop sometime.
Yeah. And you would think.
Also, my team's good. I don't know to put out for him, so now I've swapped him for like Morgan Rogers or something.
That's fair.
But Justin Kluivert now has 11 goals this season. That's more than his last 2 combined.
Wow.
Is he finally stepping out of his dad's shadow? Form like this, and he's actually playing really well as well.
Potentially so. It's just if he can keep the form going, there's no reason why. And he's on a good trajectory.
And he's only I think he's still only 25.
So he's young.
So he's coming into his peak.
Yeah.
And he's at the right club, right manager, right league.
Yeah, 100%.
So now I think the biggest thing is obviously maintaining the growth, the steady trajectory, like you say, and stay injury free.
Yeah, I think that's one of the worst things that can happen when you're on a good form like this. You get a slight knock or injury, and
the
it's
type
just
of player that he is are the type of players that normally pick up, especially towards the later 20s. Lots of
just get like knocks, muscles, and
like hamstrings and quads, because he's an explosive player. That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah.
But that is an 11-game unbeaten streak for Bournemouth. Wow. They are flying.
They're doing really
well.
And
I wrote a question here: could the Cherries be eyeing Europe? It's not a question of could. It's like which European competition are they looking at? Like if you look at, they beat Chelsea, City, Arsenal, took points off Liverpool, Forest.
Forest are in third. Can you point out?
There's other teams around that they beat. Like I don't even know who Bournemouth are losing to. It must be their away form must be pretty bad, because they're like 5th.
Yeah, I think it is their away form.
They beat Newcastle away though. They beat
that's true. Yeah.
They? But it is phenomenal what a good manager and the patience of a club can do. Because when Areola Nippleman came in, beginning of last season, they didn't get a win for like the first 5-6 games.
Yeah, they were struggling, weren't they?
And the football was there just with no end product. But now he's got some more of his players in. I really like their centre backs.
Yeah,
Zabarnyi and Hoysen, whatever his name is. Very good centre backs. Zabarnyi, I think, will be off in the summer. He's been good on FIFA for years, but honestly, FIFA projects don't really
always work out. So we've touched on this before.
Yeah, I remember that Liverpool had a player years ago who always used to get top goal scorer. Can't remember what his name was, but he was useless. I don't think he ever went to the first team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he'd get like Premier League top goal scorer after like 2 seasons. What was your say?
I was going to say that I'm not sure how many players will actually move from Bournemouth, because realistically, I get the money side of things, but if you're playing that well, you're in Europe. Most players want to move for Europe.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. Bournemouth are a small club. They're always going to be a small club.
Not if they win the Premier League. Start building up their own history and things like that.
Saying this, again, it's not really relatable, but Bournemouth fans will be buzzing. I played in FM. I play FM quite a lot. For those of you who don't know, it's Football Manager, and if you don't know, please just turn off, because you shouldn't be watching this if you don't know what FM is. But I started a career mode with like Bolton. I don't know why. I think I actually got sacked from my first job, went to Bolton.
Okay.
Rebuilt. But got to the Premier League after like 3 seasons, and Bournemouth had won the league.
There you go. There you go, Bournemouth fans.
You never know. But my point is, not any of them, a lot of those Bournemouth players, even now, and I might be treading the line a little bit or pushing it a bit too far saying this, but if United came in for them, I think they'd go.
Really?
Because it's the history of the club. Like, if you retire playing for Bournemouth your whole career and you finish 5th, 6th, get into Europe, stay in the Premier League, your grandkids come up to you and go, oh, who did you used to play for? Bournemouth. It's not going to have the same
effect,
the same nostalgic, not nostalgic, the same effect. Yeah, effect is probably the right word. Yeah. Saying I played for United, because United are always going to be a big club. Liverpool are always going to be a big club.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's all about the history of the club.
It is history. And I think that's what I'm getting at. Bournemouth were a club that nearly went out of business, 6 years ago?
Yeah, true.
6-7 years ago, which is massive. The meteoric rise is phenomenal, and I'm thinking we're going to see more and more of that over the next couple of years, with the likes of Wrexham, Birmingham, all the rich Americans coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Wrexham are playing really well. I mean, we won't touch on that,
but they're just behind Birmingham in League One.
Yeah, God, we're going to be playing next season and lose to them. Can't wait.
Yeah, but then we'll be playing them the year after and losing them as well. So it doesn't matter.
It's fair. And I don't know if you've noticed this recently, but I feel like football has really lost its...
So diluted.
Yeah. Like, I know obviously we've never really had the 3 o'clock games on a Saturday, but I just feel like, why don't we? It doesn't make sense. Sky are the most selfish, money-grabbing pricks
mate,
ever.
I worked this out the other day. So if you have the Sky package, it's the biggest fee you pay for Sky. So it's about, the cheapest package you can get is about £88 a month for Sky. So you pay that. That doesn't include BT, I don't think.
No.
So you have to pay for BT, which is another like £14 a month.
TNT now.
TNT, yeah.
Yeah.
So you got them. That's not even all the Premier League games, because some games just aren't shown.
Yeah.
So no 3 o'clock games. So you'd have to pay for
Amazon Prime.
There's some on Amazon Prime, but after the season that will be done away with. Then you got to pay for like a USA VPN to get a lot of the games.
Yeah, because it's on ESPN.
Because so many games play at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're talking like nearly £200 a month just to watch football.
Yeah.
That's played in our country, and I used to understand it was to push fans to go and watch the game, like be a match going fan.
Yeah.
But then the prices around that are so expensive, and the stadiums are so hard to get to. It's impossible to drive to half of them, because you can't park within like a 30-mile radius, especially the teams up in London.
Oh God, yeah, you can't do that. And
in
then
and out.
You're paying ULEZ and congestion charge as well.
Last time I went to West Ham was a midweek game, and I took Jamie, my eldest, so 8 o'clock kickoff. We didn't get home until like 2 a.m.
That's what I mean. It's
a school day.
Yeah,
like a lot for me. Obviously, I'm not a school, but for him, it's mental. Like, it's a lot to ask. So when people ask, "Oh, you're not a real fan if you don't go," yeah, I am a real fan, but fundamentally, it's a massive rip-off.
Yeah, be right.
How'd your team get on?
So we drew 1-1. But we had a goal disallowed, which obviously you'll watch the clip and you'll go, "Oh, that shouldn't have been disallowed for offside." And the worst thing is, like you mentioned as well, the defender who stood just next to the goalkeeper put his arm up to say, "Oh, it's offside."
Speaking of poor decisions, we'll go straight into the Arsenal game.
Yeah, good.
So first and foremost, Arsenal managed to get a win, 10 men. Rightly or wrongly, we'll talk about that briefly in a second. They have got 38 wins in the Premier League when going down to 10 men, Arsenal. I don't know how many times that's out of.
I was going to say, yeah,
that's a very good going.
That, yeah, I mean, that
considering that's the first win they've had this season when going down to 10 men.
I mean, how many times have they been down?
They've drawn twice. Early on in the season, they got them 2 red cards, didn't they? Got Declan Rice and Trossard.
Yeah.
So Lewis Skelly's red card. Talk to me.
Not a red card.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah. So the way that I see it is whenever...
it's just because the way that I see it, right, is it's not a red card.
I mean, it's not a red card. But you're given a red card, usually for violent conduct, like a straight red anyway.
Yeah.
Violent conduct, or if you're the last man.
Yeah. Or alternatively, when red cards are given in that instance, it's a clear violation that you've not gone for the ball. Even then, half the time it's a yellow card.
Most of the time they'll give that as a yellow, and you'll hear commentators go, "Oh, he's just
take one from the team."
Yeah, basically,
it's a good yellow card to take.
Yeah,
stuff along them lines.
Exactly that. That is not a red card in this day and age.
Unfortunately, I'd love to disagree with you, but I can't. Look, there's 3 things that I think refs need to look for that we've been told is time to think about it.
Yeah,
intent, and what's the other word? Surroundings, I think, is the 3 things.
Yeah.
So
like
basically,
if another player's cover him.
So the ref takes time. What the intent is from the player, and the surroundings of where he's on the pitch, basically. He does none of those things. So Michael Oliver's going to be our best referee. We've had so many times. He's going to be on the thumbnail. So many times he's been at the centre of instances. What the PGML have got very lucky with, that none of these big instances has had an immediate effect on relegation titles or
even results in this case,
or just European places. But there'll be a time when it does.
Yeah.
Luckily, Arsenal went on to win that game, because if they didn't, that would have massive ramifications. Well, I mean, it already is. Like, just before we delve into it a little bit more, Michael Oliver's family's been receiving like death threats and all sorts since this. Which is just not on his football at the end of the day. Like, it's a poor decision. He's a poor ref, but leave it at that.
Yeah,
like,
don't get family involved and shit like that. Like, if you're one of those people, you're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, like, whatever his reasoning behind it was, whether he is a Man City fan or not, his family and him don't deserve death threats and stuff to be following him around outside of football.
Once the game's done, the game's done.
Yeah,
you can't be giving him shit for that afterwards.
Just back to it, it's a shocking decision. Like, there's been poor decisions throughout the last couple of seasons, but what I don't understand is what VAR are here for. I don't know what they've seen.
They can intervene with that.
I think what they've seen is Lewis Skelly's foot's like studs are showing, but it doesn't. It's irrelevant. He's just tripped him up. He's tripped him up. Like, he's not gone for the ball. But if that's a red card, then so many other times is it a red card. You're going to get red cards every 3 games.
Yeah, actually, easily.
That's probably about average anyway, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how many red cards were over this weekend?
That was only one, I think. No, exactly. 2. Wolves got a player sent off as well later on.
Yeah, same game. But that's 2 across the whole weekend of what?
10 games.
10 games.
Yeah. It was... I can't really express how bad a decision it was. Just watch it. I can't put a video in because the Premier League will
ban it.
Yeah, copyright. That's the one. Absolutely atrocious.
Terrible decision.
Arsenal got the win though, and that's the main thing. Calafiori with the goal. Arsenal's defenders are leading the league in goals for defenders, obviously.
Yeah.
Been the same for the last couple of seasons, I believe. Arsenal, like I said, have a player sent off. I imagine Lewis Skelly's red card will be rescinded.
I was going to say they've got to be appealing that, because
it'll get rescinded. But go into the last game I'm going to talk about in a bit more depth, and that is Newcastle's game. Isak scored again, and he now has matched Freddie Ljungberg's record with 48 goals.
Really?
Yeah,
he's doing well.
He is
doing well. Is that successive? Has he scored in every goal, every game?
What, 48 league games?
No, not 48 league games. But he
didn't score against Bournemouth.
Oh yeah, right.
Because they got was it 4-1?
Yeah,
but he didn't score.
It wasn't him that scored it.
No, and Gordon got the other one.
Yep.
So Newcastle seem to be putting it right with. They went 1-0 down, I believe, against Southampton. They did, yeah. Jan Bednarek scored early on.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me either, though. I know Southampton are obviously bottom.
Quality header, did you see it?
No.
Very good header.
Was it?
But yeah, I mean, Southampton can score goals. They just can't defend.
Yeah. They can't hold on either.
Yeah. And then
we saw that against United.
Yeah.
Because they were holding on 1-0 up until the 82nd, and then.
But they were good against United. United were poor. But that's the 4th time this season that Newcastle have won after conceding first, which is good going.
That's not bad.
Right up there for the Premier League, I reckon. But I'm not too sure whereabouts they are. But Newcastle look good for top 4, I think.
I think as long as they can carry on again.
The good thing, I'd say the good thing, I'm not a Newcastle fan, but if you look around them, the chasing pack, so you got Chelsea, City, Villa, Newcastle, right?
Yep.
And I think Forest will drop out. Now looking at it, I think that how heavy that defeat was.
Bournemouth game will be the turning point.
Will be a bit of a catalyst, and they will drop. Unfortunately, but I think hopefully they can hold on for some kind of European football. Because I think it'll be great.
I think they deserve it.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to have Forest in and around Europe again. But if you look at those 4 teams, so Chelsea, City, Newcastle, Villa, City seem to be getting results now. They beat Chelsea the weekend, obviously, from 1-0 down. Foden scored again. Haaland scored again. Chelsea stopped starting. They got us next week, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get something. I really wouldn't.
No.
We might get battered. I wouldn't be surprised if we got battered either. But,
yeah, but it's the case of if they're on
the
same trajectory as they are, then you're more than likely to get something from it.
Oh, and Bournemouth as well. I didn't even mention Bournemouth in that.
Oh yeah.
Bournemouth, I don't know who they've got coming up. I didn't look at the fixtures.
Doesn't matter to Bournemouth.
Yeah,
like they can beat, at this point, they can beat anyone.
They can give anyone a game. So it is very interesting. The top 4 races is very, very interesting.
Those Champions League places are going to be really...
I think we'll get 5 this year because of how well we're doing in Europe. Like, you got Liverpool top, City are going out, actually. Yeah. But you got Chelsea top of the Conference League. United are going through in the Europa League. Villa are like mid. They've got Celtic tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember what day they play them.
Yeah, they
can still go through automatically and not have to play a playoff game.
Oh really? Yeah. Okay, fair play.
So we should get 5th.
We are if we're doing well.
And I think the 5th place was pretty much invented for English football because we generate more money.
Yeah. Although City are back on a good path, I could actually see them finishing outside the top 4.
They'll get it. They have to.
I think they will.
As a bare minimum, they have to. Liverpool's Anfield Fortress won again.
Yep.
Mo Salah has now surpassed Thierry Henry's Premier League record.
Go on.
Is he better than Thierry Henry?
No. Personally, not for me, no. I love Thierry Henry as a player, so... I mean,
I agree.
Stats might show that he is doing more, but...
Thierry Henry is my first Premier League player that I recall falling in love with.
Yeah. Thierry Henry
Which is a shame, because Mo Salah... Unbiased, if you looked at it, he probably is. Stats don't tell lies.
No, absolutely. I mean,
he creates one and he also plays out wide.
Ballon d'Or as well.
Thierry didn't win one.
No. But that's what I mean.
Yeah, but I don't know when the Ballon d'Or was introduced, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
From a winger as well, Thierry Henry played most of his career as a centre forward.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the games are. I imagine Mo Salah's played a hell of a lot more than Henry. Because he's been in the Premier League now for, 10 seasons? Henry wasn't there for that long, was he?
No, but if you remember when Henry came back, he still scored.
Brighton v Everton, who had this down on their bingo card. Everton beating Brighton away.
Yeah, that
David Moyes 700 Premier League game.
It just had to happen, didn't it? Really,
they had 33% possession and 1 shot on target. And obviously they scored. It was a penalty.
Was that the one that you sent me about the FIFA stats?
No, that was a Bayern Munich Champions League game.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So Bayern Munich lost 3-0, I think, to Feyenoord. The fixture before last.
Yeah.
And they had 33 shots and Feyenoord had 3. And they all went in. That's 70% possession. It was mental. Yeah. And I basically, it's on our Twitter or X, whatever you call it. Yeah. By the way, if you haven't already, please go and follow us on all of our socials at the Sunday League Effect.
Yeah.
We're on TikTok, Instagram, X, Twitter. Go and follow us. YouTube. And like and subscribe here.
Yeah.
Right. Brentford, Brian and Buemo, 14 goals in 17 London derbies. Another penalty, beating Palace away.
Good on him.
So Brentford's form's turned around a little bit. They're dropping Moyes at home, picking more up away at the minute.
So, actually on the Palace game, because I saw something earlier, who knee slides at 2-1 down in the 84th minute?
It's a debut though, isn't it? He's talking about Esse when he came on. He got his first touch, he scored, and then went over to the corner. I was watching it, and he went over to the corner flag, started tapping his wrist. And then, or knee slid, then tapped to his wrist. Then 2 of his players, Tyrick Mitchell and I think Mateo, went and dragged him away because they were losing 2-1 still.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand it is your debut and you have scored on your first touch.
Losing at home.
Yeah, but just read the room.
It sets the tone. I'd love to say that I think he's going to have a really good career at Palace, but I think he's going to be up against it now because that's going to be in a lot of Palace fans' minds.
Yeah, he doesn't actually care about he cares about scoring, but not about winning.
Yeah, we care about the club. We don't care who scores. We fundamentally don't care who scores the goals. If we're scoring goals and winning games, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an oddity.
Yeah.
But I didn't have Palace losing at home to Brentford at all. It was a good game. I watched that game because that was on TV as well. It was another dead rubber of a game. It shouldn't have been on TV.
No. But then
I just contradicted myself because it was
a good game
in the end.
Yeah.
But why was it on TV?
Because this is just what Sky do, isn't
it? Villa and West Ham stalemate. Ollie Watkins 100 goal involvement for Villa.
Yep.
And I've written Mohamed Kudus' dazzling dribbles. Kudus was crap. Lucas Paquetá was quality.
Yeah.
His hold-up play is unreal. He's so strong on the ball. Kudus I didn't think was that good. I don't know why I wrote that. Again, I was probably half asleep. But Ollie Watkins got an assist. Didn't do anything else. And from a neutral point of view, first 15 minutes I was watching this absolutely foaming at the mouth because we were abysmal.
Yeah,
absolutely dreadful. And then after that, I don't care what anyone says, we were the better team. We were the better team from about 20 minutes in.
Well, I mean, I saw, like, obviously from a lot of the second half, like, you were pretty much dominating.
Yeah, we dominate possession. That's what Graham Potter likes to do. Bear in mind, we haven't got any pace.
No.
We don't have a striker. We're missing 2 of our starting wingers. And we had 1 centre-back. We've played Aaron Cresswell. He played 90 minutes.
Jesus.
He's about 704. He's so old. He runs, and I'm like, I could run and beat you in a race.
I could outpace that.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka played right centre-back. But I mean, if you've not got fit players, you've not got fit players.
You've just got to go with what you've got, and
and it worked. So
yeah,
kudos to that.
Well done. Nice. Well, you came away with the draw, and that's the important thing, isn't it?
Yeah, points matter at this point, and points matter at this point.
Keeps you out of the relegation zone.
Yeah, we're not in that battle.
No.
Shush.
Tottenham
Shut up.
Tottenham are though.
Yeah, Tottenham definitely are. Ederson, the goalkeeper of Man City, has more assists than most midfielders this season, after his 5th for Haaland at the weekend.
Jesus.
5 assists as a goalkeeper.
I mean, he has got a massive punt on him.
City play beautiful football, but that's quite clearly just route 1.
Yeah.
Aim for the big man up top.
It's Sunday League 101. Hit the big man.
I played with keepers that could do this. My keeper for my Saturday team could do that.
Yeah.
Because he's not very good at goal, but he can kick it far.
He can boot it.
But yeah, they won, obviously, against Chelsea. Chelsea again fluttered on the cusp of a really good game, but I wouldn't say they threw it away. I think City were actually quite good.
Is that surprising that they lost 2-1?
3-1.
3-1, sorry.
No.
Because I mean, obviously, like the way that Chelsea have been playing all season, and the way that City have, you'd sort of think it'd have been a much closer game.
I think scoring early on sometimes damages a team's decision making, and it's happened for years. And I think because they scored so early on, they didn't know whether to stick or twist.
Yeah, whether they carry on doing what they're doing, or if they go defensive. Because
it was like the 7th minute, I think, and it wasn't. The game hadn't levelled off yet. It was a goal against any kind of run of play. There wasn't any.
There wasn't a run of play set in pace yet.
So then you're sort of automatically conceding possession to a team that loves possession. And because defensively Chelsea are woeful. Echoes of last season starting to creep in. Like they're more open than a lady of the night on a red light district.
Yeah,
it is mental. And they're for a team that was in a title race before Christmas.
Well, this is
their drop off is phenomenal. Like I think,
and I don't think I was expecting it either.
Neither was I.
Like because this is Chelsea. This is a team.
You can't blame Europe because they play a completely different team.
No.
You can't really blame too many injuries because their squad's so big.
Yeah.
So is it on the manager? Is Maresca under pressure?
I wouldn't say he's under pressure. Not yet. I think with how well they've been doing sort of elsewhere, and now the drop-off's just started, I don't think it's at time yet for them. But also saying that, it is Chelsea. I don't think
he'll make it through next season.
Not if he carries on the way it is. There needs to be massive improvements. Yeah. Massive improvements. They need to be showing the same sort of trajectory that they were on before Christmas. Because otherwise, you are right. He will be under pressure by the end of the season.
Unfortunately, it's the environment that he's in at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's probably the way football works. Like Todd Bowley, not Ted. He's quite clearly shown he's impatient and wants success now, which is why he spent so much money. Which, like, we all took the piss out of him, but it has shown
it working.
Can work. It can work. You just need the right man. I think as much as I don't particularly see the hype around Pochettino, I think he'd have them in a better position.
Yeah.
No, he might not have had them playing such nice, attractive football as quickly as what Maresca did, but the proof is in the pudding. Where are they now? Like 5th, 6th?
Yeah.
They've dropped off massively. I don't know where they finished 7th last season. So,
and this is it. And obviously, now the quality of players that they've got, you'd expect them to be kicking on every week. Like it's not. He can't turn around and be like, oh, well, I'm not getting back
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I'd have that discussion with anyone. I'm barely. I can say with a fair amount of certainty, their squad is the best squad in the Premier League. Not first 11.
No.
But a squad of 22 players.
Yeah,
man for man. I think they surpass most easily.
Yeah. I kind of disagree with that, actually.
Who did?
Well, I think if you look at a team like Liverpool, but then obviously you did clarify and say it's the top 22.
Yeah, so like a squad of 22.
Yeah, so
22, 24 man squad. Obviously, their first 11 isn't.
No.
Because quite clearly Liverpool's are, even City's first 11 are, but even Arsenal's are. But if you go into the depths, look how much they struggle when players are missing. But specifically Arsenal now, the defensive crisis that they were in.
Yeah.
And no winger in Saka. City missing one player have fallen apart for most of the season.
Yeah, because of it.
I don't think that. Maybe if Chelsea lost Cole Palmer, maybe, but then they still have quality on the bench to come in. I know we've not really seen it, but João Felix is clearly talented, and Nkunku's clearly talented. You've got Keenan Dewsbury Hall, you've got Caicedo, Romeo Lavia.
So I suppose to mix it up a little bit more.
Enzo Fernandez. Look at all they're all centre midfielders.
Enzo Fernandez.
But they're all in a pool of the top 10%.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, that basically their drop off if they have to make a sub isn't as big as some others.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Defensively is where the argument could probably be happening because they are dreadful. I think I could get in centre back. Second time I've used myself, but I'm not very good. Well, they pulled back Trevor Chalobah and he's starting straight away. That's a player they didn't want. They told weren't good enough in the summer.
I think that's everything. I think we've covered everything that needs to be covered. We've had a little rant about Sky Sports.
Anyway, that's all she wrote. If you've made it this far and you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. And like Nick said before, tell your nan, your gran, and
your mans.
It sounds like that Vindaloo song. Me, my mum, my nan, and my gran are off Vindaloo. That one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, until the next one, but we'll be back with more
stats, opinions, facts, and
howlers from the officials, no doubt.
And commentators, apparently.
Yeah, and commentators. Until then, though, stay safe, have fun, and always blame the ref. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.